In many states, there's one other thing that's really just insane about what's going on with the defined benefit programs at the public pension level. And that is that they're taking the money from plan participants and they're using it for very specific political ends, or for ends that are advancing the state interest. In Alabama, we have the highest fraction or percentage of investment dollars coming in that go back into the state of Alabama. So I don't know if anyone's ever visited Alabama. The Robert Trent Jones Golf Course, which is considered like a gem, okay, in our state, has been funded heavily by my retirement dollars. Well, not mine, but people before me, okay? It's a 396-hole golf course. It's advertised heavily. It's really impressive if you're a golfer, okay? Our plan director, who's been there 40 years, is a really good golfer, by the way, okay? Kind of a coincidence there. My view is that public pension plans should be focusing on maximizing return for their plan participants. But when you look at the total picture, we have problems. Even at 70% funding ratios, there's going to be people who need to cough up a lot more money. And that's going to mean either some kind of cut in benefits, some kind of change to the program, okay? Or some reform like the one that Cincinnati's entertaining, where you move to a model that's maybe 401k, that shifts some of these liabilities so that they're not permanent liabilities on taxpayers, and instead encourage some kind of accountability and responsibility. You find that there are actually other cases out there that have worked and that have dealt with a lot of these problems. The state of Utah actually did this just a couple of years ago, and it's been fairly successful. People who were in the Utah plan, who are in defined benefit, were given a choice. If they were fairly new, they were given a choice: stick with defined benefit or go defined contribution. Overwhelmingly, they chose defined contribution. Why would you do that if you're being guaranteed return? Well, I think even public employees are really smart and know a guaranteed return almost is too good to be true. So you'd rather take your dollars and just know that they're yours and have them with you. Another thing is, if you have any taste for portability, having your own account is far more valuable than having a defined benefit. My incentives have changed completely by being a pensioner in Alabama now. If I can just make it 10 years, I become vested. And it's totally warped my thinking. I can be absolutely miserable in my job every day, but I'm thinking to myself, I have to make it 10 years. Otherwise, I lose a whole bunch of benefits, okay? I have friends who are like in their 23rd year of employment at Troy. They completely hate their job, completely hate it, but they have to stay a couple more years so that they become fully vested, all right? This is not good from like a labor market standpoint, having completely miserable people in their jobs, all right? If you get to 25 years, you have people who are immediately making calculations that involve, I have to get out of this state, because the benefit just really drops off after that. So all of a sudden you see people looking for work elsewhere. This is what happens when you're in a defined benefit program. It really warps labor markets. And some states have followed the private sector and realized that this is the direction forward, to give people ownership over their retirement accounts. It's good for the employees in the programs. It's good for the employers, okay, namely the state, i.e. taxpayers, okay? And it's really good from a policy certainty standpoint from the long term.